review and travel.
Top 35 Charleston, South Carolina. Draped in Spanish moss and Southern grace, Charleston is a city that doesn't shout, it whispers sweetly. Cobblestone streets curve past pastel townhouses, where iron balconies spill over with jasmine and wisteria. Horse-drawn carriages echo through alleyways that once echoed with revolution and resilience. This is where America began to wrestle with its soul and where charm rose from struggle. At Rainbow Row, color softens history. In the Battery, cannons rest quietly beside crepe myrtles. And along the waterfront, the breeze carries a kind of dignity, old, proud, and deeply human. Charleston isn't just beautiful, it's gracious, grounded, and unforgettable in a way you don't quite understand until long after you've left. Top 34 Bryce Canyon National Park, Utah. At sunrise, Bryce Canyon doesn't just wake up, it ignites. Thousands of crimson hoodoos, towering spires sculpted by wind, ice, and time, rise like frozen flames from the desert floor. It's not a canyon in the traditional sense, but rather a natural amphitheater carved by erosion and lit by wonder. Walk the Navajo Loop or descend into the Queen's Garden, and you'll feel as if you've entered a dream made of stone and silence. But the real magic begins after sunset. With some of the darkest skies in the continental U.S., Bryce becomes a cathedral of stars, galaxies pouring overhead, the Milky Way drawn in clear strokes. Here, nature doesn't just speak, it sings. Top 33 Big Sur, California. Cradled between Carmel Highlands and San Simeon, Big Sur isn't just a destination. It's a revelation along California's legendary Highway 1. For nearly 70 miles, rugged cliffs plunge into the crashing Pacific, redwoods reach skyward like ancient guardians, and the road weaves through landscapes that feel painted by the gods. This iconic coastal stretch has long called out to road trippers and wanderers, not just for the views that steal your breath, but for the silence that gives it back. Beyond the wheel, Big Sur unfolds its quiet magic through hidden hiking trails and secluded state parks, where time slows and nature takes center stage. Whether you're chasing the mist at dawn or watching waves vanish into the horizon, Big Sur reminds you, sometimes the road is not just the way, it's the destination. Top 32 St. Augustine, Florida. Founded in 1565 by Spanish explorers, St. Augustine holds the quiet honor of being the oldest continuously inhabited European settlement in the United States. But this isn't just a city locked in the past. It's a living museum bathed in Florida sun, where centuries-old cobblestone streets meet the rhythm of modern life. Wander through its historic downtown, where colonial-era buildings whisper stories, and grand 19th-century hotels rise like echoes of a gilded age. Here, palm trees sway over time-worn plazas, and each corner feels like a postcard from another world. And when the Atlantic breeze carries you toward the ocean, you'll find not just beaches and warmth, but a rare feeling that somehow history still breathes here. St. Augustine isn't just old, it's timeless. Top 31 Olympic National Park, Washington. On the misty edge of the Pacific Northwest lies a place that feels untouched by time, Olympic National Park, Washington's crown jewel. Spanning glacial peaks, moss-laden rainforests, and windswept shores, this park is a breathtaking collision of landscapes you'd never expect to find in a single place. Here, snow falls silently on ancient mountains, while just miles away, ferns glisten beneath dripping canopies of green. It's the wettest region on mainland USA, and from that endless rain, nature has carved something wild, raw, and strangely tender. More than 250 glaciers hide among the ridges, and trails like Hurricane Pass and the Enchanted Valley whisper their secrets to those who walk them. Olympic isn't just a park, it's an invitation to lose yourself, and to remember what unspoiled wonder really feels like. Top 30 Asheville, North Carolina. Nestled in the rolling foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, Asheville is more than just a mountain town, it's a canvas of creativity painted with soul. On its charming streets, street performers play heartfelt tunes while local artists showcase pieces born from the landscape itself. Coffee shops buzz with conversation, bookstores overflow with stories, and every corner hums with a quiet, bohemian energy. But Asheville isn't only about the arts, it's also a gateway to grandeur. Just minutes away stands the Biltmore Estate, a chateau of epic scale and timeless elegance built in the late 1800s. As the largest privately owned home in America, it draws nearly 1.5 million visitors a year, and for good reason. Between its vibrant culture and majestic surroundings, Asheville is where inspiration meets the mountains. Top 29 Glacier National Park, Montana. In the far reaches of Montana, where roads disappear into mountains and clouds kiss the peaks, Glacier National Park waits, vast, still, and unspeakably wild. Carved by ancient ice, the land holds over 700 miles of trails, where alpine lakes mirror the sky and mountain goats perch like sentinels on cliffs. Drive the Going to the Sun Road and feel your breath catch at every turn, sheer drops, glacial valleys, and waterfalls that seem to fall from the clouds. But the soul of Glacier isn't found in the views alone. It's in the silence. In the crunch of your boots on old stone and the haunting echo of a loon at dusk. Climate change is slowly stealing its namesake. The glaciers shrink with every year, so go now while the ice still speaks, while the earth still remembers. Glacier isn't just a park, it's a vanishing cathedral of nature. Top 28 Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. In the heart of America's North, where winters are fierce and souls run deep, stand the twin cities Minneapolis and St. Paul. One is bold and electric, pulsing with startups, street art, and lakes that shimmer like mirrors under the summer sun. The other is reflective and refined, home to grand cathedrals, historic theaters, and avenues lined with timeless brick. Together they strike a rare balance, old world and new frontier, jazz and punk, poetry and code. In Minneapolis, the legacy of Prince lingers in purple neon. In St. Paul, the past whispers through cobblestones and libraries that smell of paper and history. The Mississippi River flows between them, not dividing, but connecting like a conversation that never ends. And when snow blankets the streets, the cities don't sleep. They create, they connect, they endure. The twin cities aren't opposites, they're a duet, and the harmony is unforgettable. Top 27 Jackson Hole, Wyoming. In a high mountain valley flanked by the towering Tetons, Jackson Hole isn't just a destination, it's a frontier of the soul. This is cowboy country, yes, but it's also painter country, poet country, and wild at heart country. Elk migrate through the open plains, bald eagles circle above pine forests, and the peaks, they don't just rise, they demand reverence. In winter, skiers chase adrenaline down powdery slopes. In summer, hikers move through wildflower meadows and golden silence. The town itself balances rustic and refined, wooden boardwalks and art galleries, cowboy bars and world-class cuisine. And when the sun sets behind the Tetons and the whole valley blushes with light, you don't just watch it, you feel it. Jackson Hole isn't just wide open land, it's wide open feeling. Top 26 Hawaii Volcanoes National Park. On the big island of Hawaii, the earth doesn't sit still, it moves, it breathes, it burns. Hawaii Volcanoes National Park is a living canvas of fire and time, where molten lava spills into the sea and new land is born beneath your feet. At the heart of it all, Kilauea and Mauna Loa, two of the world's most active volcanoes, shaping the island not just by eruption but by identity. This is sacred ground to native Hawaiians, a place where Pele, the goddess of volcanoes, still lives in the hiss of steam and the glow of magma at night. Walk through lava tubes, stand on black rock still warm from the Earth's core, listen closely and you might hear the heartbeat of the planet. In Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, destruction and creation are not enemies. They are dance partners. Yosemite doesn't just impress, it overwhelms. Towering granite walls stretch skyward at El Capitan and Half Dome, daring gravity, dwarfing time. Waterfalls like Brittlevale and Yosemite Falls tumble down in white torrents, echoing through the valley like ancient songs. And in the quiet meadows, deer move like whispers beneath sequoias older than memory. This park, first protected by Abraham Lincoln in the midst of war, was America's original promise. That some places are too sacred to conquer, only to protect. Hike the Mist Trail and be baptized in spray. Stand in tunnel view at sunset and feel your chest tighten. Yosemite doesn't just show you beauty, it shows you humility. Top 23, Seattle, Washington. Seattle doesn't sparkle, it simmers. Tucked between Puget Sound and the snow-capped Cascades, this city feels like a whispered idea brought to life in mist and pine. Yes, it rains, often. But the rain here doesn't wash things away, it soaks them in meaning. In the shadows of the Space Needle, innovation hums. Tech giants rise beside indie cafes, grunge guitars echo in alleyways still haunted by Cobain. Pike Place Market overflows with flowers, salmon, and soul. Ferries glide like ghosts across the water. And at sunset, when the clouds finally part, MT Rainier appears like a dream you forgot you believed in. Seattle isn't loud, it listens. And if you stay long enough, it begins to sing. Top 22, Zion National Park, Utah. Zion doesn't whisper, it rises. From the moment you enter its Red Canyon walls, you feel small in the best possible way. Sandstone cliffs soar 2,000 feet into the sky, carved over eons by water, wind, and wonder. Walk the Narrows, where the Virgin River becomes your path, ankle-deep, ice-cold, and sacred. Or dare Angel's Landing, where the trail narrows to a spine and the sky feels close enough to touch. Zion is more than breathtaking, it's humbling. A place where time slows, hearts quiet, and even the bravest feel awe. This is not just a national park. It's a cathedral of stone, and every step a kind of prayer. Top 21, Savannah, Georgia. Savannah doesn't rush. It drifts like Spanish moss on a humid breeze. Beneath oak canopies and cobblestone streets, this southern belle of a city unfolds in slow motion, graceful, haunted, utterly unforgettable. Time lingers in the manicured squares, among fountains that whisper and iron gates that groan with stories. In Savannah, every porch has a secret, every shadow a history. The smell of jasmine, the hush before a thunderstorm, the flicker of gaslight outside a colonial home, it all feels like a memory you can't quite place. This is the South at its most cinematic. Romantic, worn at the edges, and deeply alive. Savannah doesn't ask for your attention. It casts a spell and you don't even realize you've fallen under it.